making our delivery here in Colorado. So I thought I'd turn the camera on and bring you along for the ride. I think it's awful flat out here for Colorado. Well, we're in eastern Colorado, and we were about a few miles north of a little town called Otis, Colorado. And yeah, there's a lot of farm ground out here, so never been to this place before, so I think this farm and these trees right here on our right is where we're headed to, but we'll see as we get closer here. This farmer, he's got some old 40 series tractors here. I think I need to turn it around and face the other direction, so we are gonna pull right back out and turn this thing around. Waiting to unload, I thought I would read to you guys the history of anhydrous ammonia. When it was invented, what its uses were, and all that. Anhydrous ammonia was first used in 1894. Its commercial development was driven by the need for effective nitrogen fertilizers and explosives. Following the invention of the Haber-Bosch process for synthesizing ammonia from atmospheric nitrogen and hydrogen in the early 20th century. The first industrial scale production using this process began in 1913 at the BASF plant in Aachen, Germany. In agriculture, the first known application of anhydrous ammonia as a soil-applied fertilizer occurred in 1932 in Mississippi when agricultural engineer J.O. Smith attached a cylinder of the gas to a plow. This invention, further refined by Felix Edwards and W.B. Andrews in 1943, established the modern anhydrous ammonia fertilizer industry, which remains a leading source of nitrogen for crops today. Prior to industrial synthesis, ammonia was produced naturally through the anaerobic decay of plant and animal matter or by rhizobia bacteria in legumes. It was isolated as a gas in 1774 by Joseph Priestley, and its elemental composition was determined in 1785 by Claude Louis Berthollet. Beyond fertilizers, anhydrous ammonia has also been used as a refrigerant since the 1850s and as an antimicrobial agent in food processing. Anhydrous ammonia is primarily manufactured using natural gas, steam, and air through the Haber-Bosch process. The production involves separating elements from these feedstocks. Hydrogen is derived from natural gas and steam via steam methane reforming. Nitrogen is pulled directly from the air. These components are combined under high pressure and temperature using a catalyst to synthesize the final compound. Since this stuff was first made in Germany in 1913, I was curious to see if it was used in the death camps, killing Jews. And it came back and told me no, anhydrous ammonia was not used as the lethal agent in the gas chambers of Nazi concentration camps. The primary gases used for mass murder were hydrogen cyanide delivered via Zyklon B and carbon monoxide. While anhydrous ammonia was present in the camps, its role was strictly post-execution decontamination. After the gassings, ammonia was used to neutralize and scrub the residual hydrogen cyanide gas from the chambers to make them safe for disposal of bodies and to reuse the chambers. Anhydrous ammonia was produced via the Haber-Bosch process, invented by Fritz Haber and Karl Bosch, primarily for fertilizer explosives. The confusion often arises because Haber's ammonia synthesis enabled the production of cyanide-based pesticide Zyklon B, which was modified from his earlier insecticide Zyklon A. But the ammonia itself was not the killing agent. Interesting. Alright, I'll bring you back in just a little bit. Okay guys, we are here. I've already got myself hooked up and currently unloading the ammonia. Putting it into both tanks at the same time. Got my paperwork done. I am just waiting. It'll probably be about another 20 minutes here. Let's go for a little walk and look at some cool things here. This old farmer here, he's a pretty big farmer it looks like, and he still likes to use the old equipment. Got some old 40 series tractors here. Not sure what model or exact size this one is, but we'll go up here and take a peek at it. He's got it hooked up on the grain auger. Not sure what size. There's usually a shield right here and it'll have the model number on it. I don't think this is a 4010. It's probably smaller than that, maybe a 3010. It might say on the serial tag. It's a 4010. See that right there? Just like what I've been working on my grandpa's, but this one's got a 3-point on it. Granddad's didn't have a 3-point, but pretty cool. I like the old 40 series tractors. These guys got another cool thing over here. We got an old W900 Kenworth, an old A model. You don't see too many of them. We'll go over here and take a gander at that. I really think it's cool because it's got a stripe job on it. I love stripe jobs. Like what I got on my truck. It's a little different, but it's pretty cool. I bet that truck could tell some trucking stories. Looks like it's got a flat tire. Got another old 40 series tractor here, 4430, front wheel assist. That's a pretty clean looking tractor. It's a 44 series, not a 40, but still an older tractor. Pretty cool. Finished unloading here. I have already closed all the valves except these two valves. I like to drain just a little pressure off the pump. But I got the internal valves closed. I've got all the valves on the tanks closed. And before I open this hose, I need to put my PPE gear on. But I want to show you guys something. Where did I put it? I got a package of hot dogs here. And this is an old package. I've been wanting to do this experiment for about a year now, and I've let these things get hot a couple times. So these, I've had them in my refrigerator at home, but I have marked on there, rotten, bad, do not eat. But I'm gonna cut these open. I'm gonna lay these hot dogs out on the ground. And there's always a little bit of ammonia still left in this big hose. I'm gonna pour that ammonia out right on top of these hot dogs, and we're gonna witness what it will do. And that's what it would do to the human body, because anhydrous ammonia is devoid of water. And how to explain that, what that means, it's like if you could put a vacuum on a bottle. If you understand what I mean, a vacuum, as soon as you take the cap off of the bottle that had a vacuum in it, it would suck the oxygen into the bottle. That's what anhydrous ammonia is when it's devoid of water. It's devoid of water, but it wants water really bad. And when you pour it like into a water puddle or to something that's got moisture inside it, like these hot dogs or your human body, it will suck the water right out of you. And so that's one thing they really want you to wear goggles, because your eyeballs consist of like 90% water. If you was to get splashed in the face with anhydrous ammonia, it will shrivel your eyeballs up to the size of a pea in just a split second, and you will be blind forever. So we're gonna cut this package of hot dogs open and lay them out on the ground, and we're gonna just pretend them are your fingers, okay? And we're gonna see what this anhydrous ammonia will do to these hot dogs. So let me get dressed, and I will go ahead and lay my pocket knife out here so I can get to it, and we will show you what that looks like. Not sure where to set you at here. I want to put you all where you can see what's happening, and I want you to see it up close. I think because we're in the shade, this is not going to be a good spot. Let me find a better spot here. see how it burned them. It didn't shrivel them up like I thought it would, but it did burn them. But now that's kind of, interesting. It doesn't look as bad as I thought it would, but I still don't want the stuff getting on me. So. Well, anyway, there's that. So I'll just set you up here and I will finish unhooking my hose and put it away. Okay, we're done here, so I'm gonna pick them hot dogs up and put them in the trash. I don't want somebody's dog trying to eat those. It might kill them. So we will be back with you later. Well, we got that load of ammonia kicked off. The hot dog wasn't as big a thing as I thought it would be, but I still wouldn't want that stuff to get on me. Oh, in the future, if my cousin Dusty watches this video, you see this video in the future, Dusty, I apologize, I don't have time to stop and visit. As a crow flies from where I'm at right here, I am 7.5 miles from your house. But I need to get home because I have a polecat in a cage in my backyard I need to take care of. So we will see you all back at home messing around with that polecat. Okay guys, we're back home and we've got a skunk in this trap. And we got to get it up onto the tailgate of this pickup without getting him spraying me. And then I'm going to haul him off into the country. So the idea is to keep the trap covered. If he can't see you and you're gentle with him, he won't spray. So we'll see what happens. We will use this rake handle to poke the tarp up underneath the trap. Okay, we've got him loaded up. Let's go to the country. Okay, we got him loaded up, guys, and we're gonna take him to the country. Pepe Le Pew, I know you can hear me in there. We're gonna deport you, you illegal. I'm gonna kick you out of the country. So let's go do it. Okay guys, we're out here in the country. I've got Pepe Le Pew sitting out there in his cage. He's gonna get a couple chances to survive. This here is a 22-250 high-powered varmint cartridge. And that is one flat shooting rifle. And this here is a 500 Magnum handgun cartridge. Kind of makes the big high-powered rifle cartridge look like a baby. So anyway, we're gonna give Pepe Le Pew a couple chances here to run for his life. We'll just leave that door open. So this door on this cage is a door that, excuse me there, let me get my gloves on, is a door that flips up. So in order for me to get this opened up, I'm going to have to very gently roll the cage over upside down so the bar that's holding the door in place will come up to its top, and then the lid will flip down on the ground, and then he can run. So, Pepe Le Pew, I know you can hear me in there. Here's the deal. I'm going to let you loose. And you better run for everything you're worth. And if you can make it, you'll be free to do whatever you want. You can go stink anything up out here all you want. But you better run fast. Looks like we gotta knock the bar down. And maybe even open the gate. I gotta put my earplugs in real quick. My ears can't handle these guns anymore. He must be scared to come out. Come on, you polecat. Yeah, guys, well, the main thing is I didn't get sprayed, and I got the skunk removed from town, at least for now. I hadn't shot this pistol. Shoot, I bet it's been 10 years since I've shot it. I just haven't taken time to do any shooting, but that thing is a hand cannon. This thing will rock your world. I probably should have done some target shooting with it before getting it out after not having shot it for 10 years. But it's a blast, and I probably, at today's prices, that one shot probably cost me $4. I wouldn't be surprised. Anyways, well, if I catch any more critters, we'll bring you in along on the excitement. So we will catch you all later.